Well, welcome everyone. So excited that you're here. So happy to see you all, and some of you are off camera, and welcome to you as well. My name is Michelle Yasuda, if you're not familiar with me, and I'm the program director for the Big Leap Home online programs. These programs support individuals, organizations, and communities in generating agency, connection, and creativity on our shared planet. And this
Mm,
call that you're on right now is one of the ways that we do this. So I just have a couple little logistics to go over before we start the call. I'm going to turn it over to our wonderful facilitator. So, first of all, I want to invite you to join our Hendricks community on the Mighty Networks. It's an online gathering space for us to connect with one another, hear about the latest events like this event, and you'll also get amazing Hendricks tools that get dropped down almost every day of the week, but several times a week for sure. So, lastly, I want to say an appreciation for our facilitator, who happens to be my husband. And I we have a tradition in our Big Leap Bridge community to appreciate our facilitators. And so, what I appreciate about you right now, Dean, is to do with breathing. Someone said recently something about you with this, and what I notice is the spaciousness of, like, I can feel your breathing practice by like being around you. And so there's a just an open spaciousness that is really so inviting and so supportive. So
mm.
appreciate you sharing your wisdom on breathing techniques with our community. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Hey, I'm just gonna let that land, let that land on me and feel the rippling of this that beautiful appreciation. And I want to appreciate you, my dear, for organizing and developing these programs and different all these different pockets of this this work, this work that Katie and Gay has brought to us, and how you've created all these different ways for us to learn and for us, you know, facilitators to share the way our flavor of it. And it's you do a lot. She does a lot in the background. So just so you know, for the foundation. So I really appreciate you for that. And I want to appreciate everyone today for taking the time to be online and be here and enjoy and hopefully learn and enjoy something new today. And if it's not new and you know the work, then just maybe a different flavor of different way of learning some beautiful techniques to help center yourself, to help come back home to yourself, to help open up emotions that might be down there that we can be scared of exploring, and that's the beauty of breath work. And I would invite you, all of you, to appreciate yourselves right now. So give yourself a little appreciation for being here, for taking the time, to giving yourself this opportunity to learn and discover something new in yourself and with me. Okay, so breath work, yes. You know, it's amazing that we're here in this time of the this time in our world, and it's amazing that we don't have to consciously breathe. You know, thank goodness that we just breathe on our own, and we because it's automatic. So breathing helps us live, helps us be in this world, and in my personal life, you know, I've been a trainer for, I don't know, 20 something years. And, you know, I always thought I, I breathe great. You know, I run, I do all these workouts. my breathing capacity is like, what do I need to learn about breathing, you know? And but what I didn't realize is how much emotions, how much feelings that I didn't let come out. I didn't allow it to come out because I was scared. I was scared of my emotions and feeling. You know, I didn't know what feeling was until the last 15 years. I didn't know what a feeling was. You know, I was a ex-military guy. You know, like, no, I don't get scared. I don't get angry. I don't get sad. I'm just, rah, rah. They're like, oh, okay, sure. And so as I not fell into, just went into this Hendricks work and really learned what breathing, conscious breathing was all about, and then started doing it. Oh, wow. You know, talk about opening floodgates of emotions that I was so scared of. And then to find out that all emotions, all feelings are welcome, that I didn't have to be scared of being scared or feeling angry or feeling sad. And that took so much relief off my shoulders as a military guy. It's like taking off a 100-pound backpack. Boom. It's like, oh, wow. I don't have to fight and hold all this stuff in because I thought I would just lose it if I felt, you know, if I learned to feel. And that's been such a big shift for myself, is to know that all feelings are welcome, that that's part of being alive, like having, you know, my sadness, my anger, my excitement, my joy, my fear, my sexual feelings, my creative feelings is all coming out of one hose, as Katie would say, is coming out of one hose. And when we push down one feeling, it interrupts all the other ones. So you know, so I didn't realize all that, and until I experienced that, it's been quite a beautiful journey, and I really appreciate myself for doing it, and appreciate Katie and Gay's wonderful work and how they share everything with us. They're just so generous, and yes, so I love that. One thing I wanted to really, you know, there's some people that's okay if they're not on camera, but does anyone have a breath work practice already? Does anyone practice breathing in a, oh, good. Yeah. So part of you know, part of getting into a practice is making a commitment, right? Is making a commitment to do something. And, you know, myself and I assume everyone else, we all can have blocks of doing something on a regular basis, like exercise or eating right or anything we want to get into. There's always going to be some kind of blocks, not always, but most likely. So what time is it? Yeah, you know what? I'll just start with this. I'd like to play with the three ways of how we can step into something, you know, the I want, I'm willing, and I commit to whatever we want to do. And so if you're willing, everyone, let's just jump right into this. And yeah, let's just jump right into this. And if you guys are willing, you can stand up if you want. It works a little better to stand. And if you already have a commitment to breathing, that's okay. Just recommit. So the first thing I want you to do is just go ahead and tune into your body. Just feel into your body. Feel if there's any sensations. Start with your neck area or your jaws. Just kind of like tune into those areas and just notice if anything's going on there. Your shoulders. Feel into your shoulders. Just notice if it's tight or loose. Come down into your chest area. Feel into that. What does that feel like here? Your back shoulder blades. Notice what's happening there. And now bring it down to your core area, this whole area. What does it feel like there? Just notice, no judgment, just tune in like, okay, what's happening here? What's happening in my body right now? And then come into your pelvic area, what's going on here? What does it feel like? Maybe just move it around. Okay. Go down your legs, your thighs, feel into the legs, feel into your calves. Go down to your feet, feel the bottom of your feet, your toes. It's a nice way to just tune in and give yourself a little scan throughout. This is a good practice just before breathing. You just tune in. And then in your own pace and the way you want to say it. So just first we can say, I want to learn a breathing practice and step into that. I want, or say it whatever you want, but I want to have a breathing practice. And step into that. See what that feels like. And step out and say, I want to have a breathing practice. Step into it. And then step back out. And then say it in different ways. I want, or I want to create a breathing practice, and step in. So you're stepping into the pool. You're stepping into the game. And then step out. When you step out this time, just notice what's happening. Notice if you can notice anything in your body, if you feel different, if you feel scared, if you feel like yes, or you're like, oh, I don't know. Just notice if you're feeling any kind of tingling anywhere or tummy. Just notice, non-judgmental noticing. Just like, okay. So that's the first one, is the I want. And that one you could stay with I want. Stay with I want if that feels scary. And the next one you can play with is I'm willing. So I'm willing to create a breathing practice and step in. And then feel what it like. Feel when you're in the pool, notice how you feel. Are you feeling good? Are you feeling what's going on? And step back out. I'm willing to create a breathing practice. Notice your breath. Notice if you're breathing, if you're holding your breath when you step in and when you step out. Just do that a few more times. I'm willing to create a breathing practice. Step back out. And both when you're in and out, just notice what's happening in your body. Give yourself that moment to, okay, what's happening in my body? What's happening in my mind? And just be with it. You don't have to fight it. Just be with whatever emotions are happening, good, bad, sad, whatever it is. Just notice. You're just being with yourself, being with emotions, being with your thoughts, just like you are with your best friend, just like you are with your younger self, where you're holding that part of you that might be scared. You're just being with that. And then just see which ones, we did I want, I'm willing. And now the big one, I commit. Ooh, I commit to a breathing practice. Ah, oh, what does that feel like? I commit. Commit has so much baggage, it has so much, baggage with it. And it's just commit in our world is just stepping into the pool. When you commit, I commit. I'm just stepping in. And hey, you're going to make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to fall off the track. It's okay. You in the pool. So when you're in the pool, you can be in the shallow end and just be waiting, and then you can get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper until you start swimming. So you're just in the pool so you can experience it. So step out, I commit. I commit to a breathing practice. Hmm. Notice what that feels like. See if are you holding your breath? Is your body stiff? Just notice what's going on. Or you feel relaxed when you're doing it. Ah. And whatever's happening, it's okay. Whatever happens, it's okay. We can always go back to the I want, I'm willing, I commit. And the beautiful part, and we can go ahead and sit down there if you want. The beautiful part about this, the commit and the recommit is that, is we can just recommit. And that's why I really love about, you know, Katie and Gay's work is, because, commitment was a big word for me too. It's like, oh my God, I'm making a commitment. If I mess up, then, I'll foot my head. And being in the military was pretty much that, you do something and you mess up, you're thrown into the dump. Where so that was holding a lot of baggage for me. And so when I learned, like, wait, okay, I'm going to mess up, and that's what I love. Katie and Gail will say, "You're going to mess up, and you're going to make mistakes, and it's okay." It's like, that's right, it is. Oh, there's so much less pressure, and to just say, okay, yes, I veered off a little. I recommit. I recommit to my breathing practice. I recommit to whatever practice that you're wanting to create a habit around. And it's for me, it was such a big, huge relief to be kind to myself, first of all, to love myself, love that part of me that was so wound up into trying to get it right. And a perfectionist persona that we have, most of us have, that got to do it right. I got to be perfect. To just be, don't have that I didn't have to be perfect, and I'm not perfect, and it's okay. I'm a human being, and that's the beauty of being who we are and what we are. So with just that, does anything come up for anyone that you want to share? And if not, that's okay. Just take a
Mm.
breath
Mm.
and what was going through you, for what was happening when we did those three little exercises. Yeah, go ahead.
I like the being willing. That felt really nice.
Mm.
The commitment obviously brought up fear. It's like, ah. I don't know. I don't know if I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's that dialogue. Too big a word, but I appreciated, the three gradients and kind of just feeling what that feels like in the body and what the mind does with that.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. And where did so the willing is where that's where you feel well, and that's great because each one is stepping in, you know. And I know commit. I said commit. You step in a pool, but in each one, I look at it too as like I want you could be just your feet in the pool, just at the kiddie side, and I'm willing might be to your waist, and then the commit could feel like up here where you're like, oh. So it's just getting in the game is the big piece. So thank you, thank you for sharing that. Oh, Linda, yeah, go ahead, Linda.
I was surprised because I was, I do this most mornings. I like the spiral breath.
Mm,
And when I did the commit one, I, I was loosey goosey the whole time. But when I did the commit one, I felt something in my throat, like come up like right here. And I thought, what is that about? What is this sad? This is like sadness about something. I don't know. But as soon as I said, I commit, in this big voice, I commit, the sadness came up. So you've given me something to wonder about for sure.
mm. Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, that's what I love about this work, right? the more and more we're in it, there's always different layers of learning, no matter what. We learn until the end. You know, it's all about learning and discovering and having wonder around it. And I'm so appreciate you bringing that up, because that's a great point, that when those things happen to, you know, like, okay, what is there to learn about this, and not, you know, and not go, oh, what's wrong with me? Oh my God, I got this thing going on. Oh, I'm so, all the stuff that we can criticize and judge, but just
Yeah.
with, like, oh, I have this, I'm noticing sensation in my throat. What's going on here? What do you have to say to me? You know, you talk to your body, you talk to the body parts, because our body has so much wisdom that we can tend to ignore. So yeah.
I loved your example of being in the pool, because when I go, like if I'm walking in a pool, it starts to get scary when I'm up to here. So maybe that's what this is. I don't know, but
Oh wow.
it's like I'm going under now. You know?
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't put that together to just now. Yeah, commit. You're getting deep into the pool, and
Yeah.
then you got the feeling right here too. Wow.
Yeah. That's a great metaphor. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Awesome. All right, Nancy.
Hello, thank you. Hi. So feelings did come up for me too, but I also noticed that the word commit, everybody has, there were two things that went on. One is it wasn't okay to make a mistake, especially when I was younger. And the other thing is that commit actually was loving myself. If I commit, that means I'm loving myself, whatever that is. Committing to exercise, committing to a personal weight loss program, committing to this practice. And then the more I commit, the more I'm expanding into more loving myself.
Mm.
And some sadness came up because the loss of that is, well, the reason I didn't commit is because I was going to be punished or something.
Yeah.
You know, if I didn't do it right, there was consequences. So thank you for bringing that up. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's such a big, big, big thing, you know, having that feeling, because make a commitment, and then, because, you know, I know my experience of making commitments and messing up, because big consequences, you know, or I made up a lot of, like, oh my God, now I'm gonna be destroyed. And instead of going, okay, wow. And you know, one of the big cool metaphors that I love about Gay talked about is, um, it's like an airplane flying. They put it on autopilot, and the plane never flies straight. There's never a straight line. It veers off, and then it corrects itself. It veers off, it corrects itself. And that's what we are. We're gonna veer. We're gonna veer off a little, and we just, okay, let me recommit to my practice. Let me recommit to my practice. And as simple as that sounds, can be very challenging, you know. And then, you know, like you said, Nancy, being kind to yourself, and just, okay, loving yourself right where you are, right as you are. Nothing's wrong. You just, okay, can I love myself for falling off track? Yes, I think I can. And if you can't, can you love yourself for not wanting to love yourself? So there are different layers of fully loving everything about yourself, is what I love. All right, Dawn, go ahead.
Yeah, I realized that even last night, I like doing acro, I stopped breathing, and that is my first like signature that I am in fear mode. And so it starts with my breath. And so I realized that. And so my breath is kind of helping me like figure out, it's like, hey, you have stopped breathing. This is what's going on. And it was hours later that I realized, I was like, oh my goodness, I fainted, you know, because someone new to the community was kind of like, he was very excited. He was extroverted and he was like, oh, we can do this. We can do group poses. And he was kind of touching me in a way that I was not okay with. And I had a whole bodied no. And then I kind of looked to the people around me, and obviously they were like people that I trust. And I'm like, is he seeing this? Is he seeing this? And none of them were in view of seeing it. And even my partner, I was just like, well, he has to see it. He has to hero me, right? And then I looked at him, and he saw one of them, and he was like, and I was like, yeah, you. And then he was like, and then he went quiet, and I was like, oh, I felt, oh my goodness, he's not going to save me. And then I realized I'm capable of saving myself. I'm responsible. And I started breathing, and I forgot all about the fear melters. So I did the fear melters, and I was like, oh my goodness, I can do this myself. And of course, all these different things of like my survival old story came into, you know, came into my vision, and I was just like, oh, this is part of my old story. I don't trust other people. I project my fears, and I was just like, oh, well, this was meant to happen. It's an opportunity for me to learn, for me to recommit to having and doing fear melters every morning, because I'd gotten off a couple days ago. And yeah, so I didn't blame myself. I didn't, tisk about, me not doing my fear melters. I just was like, this is an opportunity for me to recommit to do my fear melters.
Oh, that's a beautiful story. And did you invite yourself to appreciate yourself in that moment?
I did. I
Little
appreciated
celebration,
myself.
maybe?
Yeah, and then I celebrated with my friend Marcy, because I told her all about that during my walk this morning. And I just kind of laid it out. And then I was just like, I realized this and this. And then I just wanted to celebrate. And she was celebrating with me. And it was just glorious. Yeah.
Yay. All right. That's great. Great story. Thank you for sharing. That's beautiful.
Thank you for having the safe space to share it with you all.
Oh, yes. Welcome. Okay. Stephanie.
It was so fun just now watching everyone celebrate with you, Don. That was really cool. Um, I I actually felt the most comfortable in the commit, which I find interesting hearing everyone else's perspective, but I think it's because I come from a an upbringing, and I think this is our culture too in some ways, but like you have to commit. You have to go head first, all in. And I've just that has led to so much burnout. So having this space to say no, like I want to do this? I want to do this. I want to do this. And like going back, like oscillating between that and the I will, by the time I got to the I commit, I felt safe to commit. It just felt so good in my body. And so I'm really thankful. This is the first time I'm doing this practice. So thank you so much.
Oh, great. Oh, that's really good to hear. I love when someone comes in that has no idea about any of these practices, and we just and you jump in and you experience something that we want. You're sharing things that can help everyone else and myself too, because there's different stories of how the three tiers of jumping into something can really help. And I really appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. Awesome. All right. Okay. All right. We got everything flowing and going. So okay, it's 8:30. So let's go ahead and you can sit, and I said we're gonna do three breathing practices today. And so we're gonna start off with I'm gonna just lay it down. We're gonna do some centering breaths, healing breaths, and some yes breath for today. Okay. And those are really, yeah, if you can start with those. And, Linda did talk about the spiral breath downs a little more advanced and takes more practice. But if you can just get these three down first and then evolve into the spiral breath, and that you can find on the Foundation for Conscious Living if you want to explore that one too. But I think if you don't have a breathing practice, then just start with these three. I think it'll really enhance your, well, not, I think, it will enhance your life. It will enhance your body wisdom. It'll really open up more access to your creative brain, your creativity, to everything that this world has to offer us when we open up into it instead of contract. Because the fear breathing brings us here. And so when we learn to consciously breathe, we open our minds, we open our body, and then wisdom and everything from the universe has access, because you're open, your receiver's open to hearing, to seeing, to smell. Every sense can bring in some knowledge, right? You know, you smell something, like, oh, you see something, oh, you hear something. So this is what we're doing. We're opening up our receiver to receive more and more beauty that's out there. So yeah. Oh, yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited. All right, so we're going to start with the centering breath. So if you're not used to breathing into your belly deeply, this is a nice quick way, or a nice way to just start learning about your breath, okay? And so first what I want you to do is we're going to just play with our hands, okay? So what you're going to do is you're just going to, and this is all friendly, so don't go crazy, but you're going to gently squeeze your hands and then release. And just do that a few times. Just squeeze your hands and release. And then notice in your hands as you're doing it, just squeeze and release. Notice the sensation in your hands. Tight, loose. Tight, loose. We can even go a little further, but be friendly and start tightening your whole body. So just tighten, but be gentle. Tighten your body, tighten all your muscles, and then release it. Tighten all your muscles, and then release. Notice the difference. Notice what that feels like. So tense, open, release. So that's a really simple way of, learning about your body. Because do you feel tense all the time, or do you feel release? So doing the opposites can help you notice, like, oh, my body is kind of tense, or my body is loose. Which one am I playing with? So we're going to add the breath. So I'll just demonstrate first, okay? So the next time, and this one we just do with our hands. So the next time we do this, you're going to take a deep breath in, and then you're going to blow out. Blow all the air out as you're squeezing your hand. And then just get to the end for about a second, hold it out, and then open your hands and breathe in, okay? So let's do that a few times. So you're going to take a nice deep breath in, blow out through your mouth, squeezing your hands gently, blowing all the air out, squeezing all the air out of your belly. Get to the end for about a second, hold out, and then open your hands and breathe in. And then just breathe a normal breath as we do that. Oh yeah, I see somebody yawning. So that can happen with breathing, breath work, because our body's not used to getting a lot of oxygen in, so it can make us feel lightheaded or be yawning, like, oh wow, why am I so tired? And it's no big deal. It's just part of our body reacting to what's happening. So I didn't show this one, but let's do this one too. So first go ahead and just squeeze your hands and your belly. So squeeze your hands and belly, and then try and breathe. Okay, I gotta stop because I'm not used to breathing like that anymore. But if you notice the shortness of your breath all in your chest, because that's what happens when we're in fear breathing. We tighten up and then it goes quick, and the breath all stays up here, activates our fight or flight brain, and then we're in fear, some kind of fear. So it's like, everything is is not right. Everything is wrong. Everybody's our enemy. I'm messing up. Whatever happens, that's the fear breathing. And why I did that is because, being a trainer and being in the military for all those years, everything was about suck your gut in, put your chest up, and you're stiff. You're just like, huh. So all the breathing was up in my chest. So of course, and I'm scared because they're getting yelled at and all this stuff. So learning to let my belly out was a big deal because, I'm a trainer. I'm supposed to have a six-pack. I'm supposed to look good. But now I can relax it more. And it doesn't bother me to know that, okay, my belly's sticking out a little, but I'm breathing and I feel good and I'm relaxed. And I can be with my clients in a whole different way because I'm breathing naturally. I can be more conscious. I can have my feelings and I can really be with my clients in a whole different way that I never experienced before. And it's been really fun. So that's the just of the centering breath. And anybody has questions about that, or how did you experience that? No? Okay. It's all right. So I'm going to move into, because I like to, okay, the centering breath and the healing breath is very similar. We're going to just do that. And then when we do the actual practice of the whole breathing practice that I'd like to share with you, then we'll kind of shift it around, okay? So the healing breath or the reset breath is the quick explanation of that is this breath balances your acid alkaline in your body. So when you're not breathing right, you don't have enough CO2 and oxygen mixture, so you can feel a little off. So what this breath is, you're going to do the same thing, but at the end, when you blow all the air out, you're going to hold the air out for as long as you can without fighting. So you blow all the air out, then you're going to hold the air out, relax your body, and then when you need to, your body will say, take a breath. If you can, take a breath into your nose, and then we'll take some easy breaths, okay? So let's do a few of those. So this is the centering healing breath. And this one is great for when you're feeling stuck in something, you're feeling off, just like, you're feeling a little, not energized and you want a little boost. This breath is beautiful. I love this breath. And I also found out that it helps with hiccups. One of the side things that works great that I've tried with some people and it's worked. So hopefully it'll work for you if you think about it. Okay, so let's do a practice of the healing breath. Okay, so you're going to take a nice deep breath in. And then imagine just blowing a candle, flickering a candle. Squeeze all the air out of your belly till you get to the end. Don't breathe in, hold the air out. And then try and relax your body as much as you can. And when you need to breathe in, just breathe in. There's no time limit, it's not about a competition of I can hold it out for this many seconds. And then just take some easy breaths after you take a breath in. Take some easy breaths. So with that breath, as far as holding it out, the more and more you practice your breathing, you'll find that you can hold it out longer and longer and longer. And that's what is a gauge to how balanced you are in your body. So the longer you can hold it out, the more balanced everything is in your body. And if you want a deeper explanation, I think there's some on the foundation, right, honey? More explanation of the healing breath and what it does. But this is for time's sake, that's just a quick one. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do one more. So just go ahead and take a nice deep breath in. And then blow out. squeezing your belly. You get all the air out. Hold it out. Try and relax your body. And then when you need to breathe in, breathe in. And then just breathe your normal breath in between. Maybe move your body around after you take that breath in. Move your shoulders, your jaws, your face muscles. We'll do one more because there's for some people it helps to hold your nose at the end because we can, I've noticed that it makes a difference even though I don't think I'm breathing in, but we can try that if you want to. Okay, so everybody feeling all right, moving your body around. And we'll do one more, and if you want, try and experiment and hold your nose at the end and see how that feels. Okay, you can close your nose. All right, so take a nice deep breath in. Blow out. Blow all the air out, squeeze your belly in, blow all the air out, and then pause and hold your nose. And then just hold it out as long as you feel, it's not about, don't fight it. Just when your body says breathe, breathe in, and then take some easy breaths. So usually about 3 healing breaths, if you're going to do that, is a nice way to really get yourself, okay, I'm here. Any questions, some quick questions about that breath? Yes, Timothy.
There we go.
Oh,
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, the second one, the healing breath seems fairly clear to me, the procedure. I'm not quite clear on the centering breath what the actual procedure part is, because you had us practice, for example, squeezing our fists and then do other things. So if we just did the centering practice, what would it be?
So you're doing the same practice. You don't have to do the hands, but that's just to show you what tense and relaxed feels like.
Mm-hmm.
So the centering breath is just a quicker way of finding your breath. So you're doing the same practice, except you're not holding it out. It's only for like a second, and then you breathe.
I was saying, so you're just doing a healing breath without holding it at the end.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
that's a nice way, if you're for yourself or depending on if you're teaching somebody that's not used to breathing in their belly, it's a nice way to introduce how to breathe down into your belly.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Thanks for the question. Okay, awesome. Okay, now we're going to go to my other favorite breath, is the yes breath. And this practice that one. And so what we're going to do is go ahead and find the edge of wherever you're sitting. And if you're standing, that's fine too. I'll show you the standing version. But if you're sitting, let's go ahead and sit on the edge of your chair with your feet flat on the ground. And then just breathe your normal breath for now. And we're going to go with the movement first, okay? So the movement looks like this. I'll go right about here. This is all in a comfort zone. Be gentle. We're not doing it overly. Don't overly do it. So the first bit of this breath is arching and rolling your back. So just gently arch, and we're going to do this slow too, so we can match the breath. So it's going to be about a 5-second arching, and then a 5-second of rolling your back, just like this. So it's very slow. And keep your head in a neutral position. So you're arching and rounding. So this one you can count 2 in your head. So if you're counting 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the speed of this movement and the breath. It's very slow and very, you have to have some patience if you're not used to a slow movement. And then you'll also notice when you're moving, your pelvic area is tilting. So when you're arching, your pelvic area is tilting forward. And then when you're rounding, your pelvic area is moving back, just like that. So it's like if you imagine there's a bowl of water and you arching, it's slightly turning the bowl this way and it's flowing the water out to the front. And then when you're rounding, the water will flow to the back. So that's different ways to visualize what's happening in your body. And also what I love about this breath is there's movement as you're breathing. You know, often especially when I used to meditate, I would just fall asleep or, you know, listening and breathing or any breathing practice. If I'm not moving, I can get tired. So moving and breathing, and you know, keep your head in a neutral position because it'll just move on its own, and that's why it's called a yes breath, because it just moves by itself as you move your spine and your pelvic area. And when you're breathing in, as Michelle would say, is saying yes to life. You're breathing in, yes, opening yourself up to all this beauty that's around us. You just get that movement going. And then I think what helps me too is go ahead and put your one hand over your belly button. And we're still just breathing your normal breath, but as you can feel your rounding, you can feel how automatically your tummy gets pushed back. And when you round your arch your back, it just pushes it out naturally. So now we're going to add the breath. Okay, so as you, whichever position you're in, when you're rounding, you're exhaling. If you can do it through your nose, would be ideal. And then when you arching your back, try and bring the breath down into your belly so you can feel your hand. Same thing, we're keeping it into a 5-second or 6-second movement. So the whole breath is a 10-second breath. So you can count from 1 to 10, or you can count 1 to 5. So it's 5 seconds on the out breath. You're breathing out. 5 seconds on the in breath. Bring it down into your pelvic area as low as you can. Just imagine the breath going all the way down. Like I said, it's a very slow movement. And then also as you get more and more in tune with your breathing, really pay attention to the transition point of your breath. Because often I've noticed in myself and other clients, we can breathe in slowly, but it transitions right at that point to coming out quickly, like, and then you go slow again. So really focus on that transition point, keeping it in that same rhythm. So I'm breathing in and then releasing slowly. And then breathing in slowly when it's at the bottom. You really can feel that difference. I know I have, like, oh wow, yeah, at the bottom of my out breath, I breathe in quickly and then I breathe slowly. And then I release quickly and I release slowly. So that's as you get more and more in tune with your breath, you can really feel that transition point. So that's just all about practice. So go ahead and stop for now, because when we're learning something new, or it can be, you can feel tense, or maybe some personas coming up, like, oh, am I doing it right? I'm doing it wrong. I have to do it perfect. Whatever's coming up, like, okay, I'm okay. It's a new thing. Let me just practice. So we got 9 minutes. And so I'm just going to show you real quickly the laying position. So you can lay out in your bed, because it's good to do this before you wake up in the morning and when you go to sleep, or in the middle of the night if you wake up and you do some yes breaths. It really, really helps. So basically, you're just laying flat, knees up, feet on the ground, and you can add the arching just a slight bit. You don't have to be like, just a slight arch, breathing in, and then as you flatten your back, you're exhaling. So same thing, and if you're not used to it, you can put your hand on your belly so you can feel it rising as you breathe in, and feel the release. And if you don't want to arch your back, that's fine too. You just do your belly. Your head will go in the opposite direction because you're laying down. And when you breathe in, your chin will actually go down. That's just if you notice that. So that's the laying breath. And you can do the healing breaths laying down too. So you can breathe in, release, hold it out, and then breathe in. So you can do all these breaths laying down and sitting and standing too, actually. So what do we have, like 7 minutes? So we can do this standing too. So when you're standing, you can just move your hips forward and back like this. So you're breathing in and breathing out. And that's just for practice, because, you could do it, but if you're standing somewhere and you're like, somebody might like, going on over there? You can just be standing and breathing while you're standing. It's a nice way to bring yourself home when you're waiting in line or somewhere that's not comfortable. And you can do mini healing breaths too. Like I do that all the time. And I'm standing somewhere and I'm getting a little like, oh, okay, take a breath. And I can do a small one. I can do it exhaling out of my nose. And just do small ones so you're not looking like, somebody might look at you, you okay? You're breathing next to them. And if you don't have any quarrels about that, then go for it. Then you be like, yeah, I'm doing this breath. Would you like to join me? So yeah, that was part of the journey there. What I like to do is I like to do the yes breath first in the mornings. I lay down, I do the yes breath. I put a timer on for 5 minutes or 6, depending on how much time I have. I do the yes breath first, laying down. And then I'll go into 3 healing breaths right after that. So, and then really take your time with the healing breaths, because don't go right after each other. Do a healing breath, do some easy breathing until you feel a sense of calmness, and then do another one, relax, and then do another one. And if you think about it, feel into when you start, where you're at as far as aliveness when you start. Like, okay, I feel like about a 6, or I feel like a 5. And then when at the end, notice where you're, like how you feel. Like, oh, wow, I feel fantastic. Or, oh, I don't feel good. Whatever, because emotions might come up. You're like, oh no. But even that, when the emotions come up, just follow it. Follow the emotion. Let the wave come through, and then, okay. I noticed that I feel much better letting it through than pushing it down, which I did for so many years. All right, so we have some time for any questions or anything that came up for any of you. And if not, that's all right. Just breathe. Ah. Well, how are you, everyone? How is everyone feeling right now?
Theme.
Yes.
I noticed, I think you answered my question, whether you're sitting or standing, initiating from the pelvis first to start.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so there's everyone has their different way of like some people like thinking of the back arching and rolling, and some people can really tune into the pelvic area, pelvis area, So whichever way that can help you remember is perfect.
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, looks like everybody's alive and no one has passed out or anything. So hey, thank you. And again, really appreciate all of you for joining today. I think Michelle will have some ending things, I think. And again, appreciate yourselves for learning something new or practicing more. And love yourself just as you are, where you are, and right as you are.
Well, thank you so much, Dean. Thank you, everyone, for practicing together. And I loved all the questions and just participation. So thank you for that. And we usually take a break for the Big Leap Bridge classes in the summer, but I think we might be offering a couple things. So keep an eye out for that. Oh, I know what I forgot to do was put the link to the Mighty Networks. Let me grab that for all of you if you need that link. And otherwise, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again. And if you want to stay on and wait for that link, I'll have that in 1 sec. Okay, just grabbing it. I forgot to do that.
Dean, excuse me, there's a question in the chat at the very bottom from Timothy, just in case you didn't.
Yeah, when you do the healing breaths, do one and then just take some easy breaths in between until you feel yourself, and then do another one. So yeah, don't do it 3 in a row. I mean, no, don't do 3 in a row. You can experiment, but no, I find that I've done that before and it doesn't really help. So yeah, one healing breath, easy breaths in between, do another one, easy breaths in between, and then notice how you feel after.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Yay. All right. And if you do have questions that come up after, you can always put those on the Mighty Networks, and you can tag Dean, and then he'll be able to see that and answer that.
Yeah.
And other coaches might jump in as well. So feel free to do that.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone.
You.
We'll see you next time. Take very good care.